It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
So what do you do when you've completely redefined the way bows are engineered? When you've reached the pinnacle and the band starts playing your victory song, you start a revolution out of thin air. Introducing the all-new PSE Carbon Air, engineered with true carbon technology to be the lightest high-performance bow in the world. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Welcome, everybody. Another Minicast here at the Up North Journal. Something you're going to hear in the next 3 to 5 minutes, only on the Minicast, not on our main show. But Mike still being on the road, me in the cabin. And I just wanted to throw this out to Mike because he's just traveling down the road, heading in. So, Mike, we've talked about this in the past show. You've got some predators in your area, and I really like them. And I don't think you should hunt in that area anymore.
I take it you read the article that Robin Elvaber posted on our page this week.
You know, it was kind of funny because it kind of rang a lot to me because it's kind of similar to what they're saying in the UP for the grouse hunters. If anybody's looked at our Facebook post, the post was coming out of Wisconsin about the number of bear dogs that were killed this past bear hunting season for them in Wisconsin. It actually almost doubled in 1 year. It was, as of Tuesday when the season closed, there was 40 hunting dogs confirmed killed by wolves, which far exceeded the previous record of 23. So you think they got a problem, Mike?
No, sure sounds like there's a problem. I know they stopped the wolf hunt over there. They had a couple, 2 or 3, I think, and then we had a federal judge that whose wife was actually part of this fur baby lovers groups and got everything shut down. And you want me to dust off my soapbox and jump up on it here for a minute?
You know what? It's kind of funny you say that because it's the same thing that happened in here in Michigan. We had one hunt. The wolf comes off the list. We have a hunt. The wolf goes back on the list. And all of a sudden now in Wisconsin, they've seen dog numbers for their bears killed almost double. And basically, if you read the article, they their own advice is maybe you shouldn't hunt in wolf-populated areas.
Yeah, you know what? And that's a bunch of bull. Just to put it bluntly. So we're not supposed to hunt in areas where wolves are. What happens when they expand their range?
Well,
as they grow it, because they're not hunted. If they're not hunted and they're not kept in check, the population grows. They expand their range. So our hunting areas are actually being controlled by wolves, and we're told that we shouldn't hunt there if we don't want any problems.
Well, exactly what they're calling it, wolf caution areas, which are established by the state. So. It looks like in Wisconsin, here in Michigan, they kind of were warning the grouse hunters about that they were running their bird dogs, and there are some bird dogs. They kind of said the same thing. Well, maybe you shouldn't bird hunt where there's wolves. So
would
you like?
I don't get it, man. I really don't. That's not an excuse. That is not an answer to the problem. These predators need to be kept in check.
Well, that's the whole key to this thing. And by telling the hunters maybe you shouldn't hunt in wolf caution areas, really?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell me that, okay, is Mr. Wolf going to stay on the other side of the highway or what? Really?
Yeah, well, like I said, as the population grows, they expand their range.
And that's the thing.
They kill livestock on top of that. It's not just the hunting dogs. And I understand they were paying $2,500 per dog that was killed. You know what? That's all fine and dandy that people getting recouped with their money. But I personally know some guys down in Indiana that had dogs that were worth $30,000 and $40,000. These were prize hunting dogs.
Well, that's the thing about it.
Champion dogs. And if you're turning that kind of dog loose out here on bear, I don't know what a bear dog goes for, but $2,500 probably doesn't cover it. It probably just doesn't cover it.
Oh, I'm telling you, and for what? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't cover it for the time you put in to train, the time you put in, the time with family, the time, everything that goes into putting into that hunting dog. And they're going to write you a check for $2,500 and say, here you go. It's all right. Yeah. Just don't hunt in the caution areas again. And you know what? And this is the point. This is the part that gets me. When you want to do it, here in Michigan, we had one hunt. They wanted 42 wolves taken. I think we maybe got to half, and then it was done. We didn't even get to the quota we wanted. So people, and we're talking to the choir, obviously, because it's not that easy to go and do that, right? So,
well, another thing that article talked about that you had mentioned before we came on the air was, the livestock. They're wanting farmers to put sounding devices up near their livestock and then put up high fences to keep wolves out. So because they reintroduced these wolves, now the farmer has to incur the cost.
Oh,
I don't buy that either. That's a bunch of baloney.
And the best one, I think, is so-called sounding devices that to use to keep the wolves away. Are you sure that that's only going to keep the wolves away and not scare the heebie-jeebies out of your own livestock?
Yeah, right on. Not to mention, imagine maybe some neighbors around might not listen, like whatever noise you're going to put out there to scare them off, continually. It's just these fur baby lovers, they come up with all these crazy cockamamie ideas and try to, keep people from hunting. That's the bottom line. That's all it's about.
Absolutely.
Really about.
Totally agree with you. So,
and what makes me so angry is the fact that DNR is starting to buy into this garbage now.
Well, we
telling people they shouldn't hunt there.
You shouldn't hunt in that area. Here we are trying to do the right thing, sound science, do it the right way. But because this little guy's on the list, we can't properly manage the predator.
Right. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all, my man.
I don't either.
Yeah, if you guys, like the topic, sound off on it. Go to our Facebook page and find the article. Start a discussion over there if you'd like. And, I'll be glad to jump up on my soapbox over there, too.
And he will, folks. But that'll do it for our minicast.
This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.